Have you ever gotten a raise, looked at your bank account a few months later, and just wondered, where did it all go? I mean, you're earning more money than ever before, but you don't feel any richer. It's a super common and, let's be honest, incredibly frustrating problem. So today, we're going to dig into the psychology behind why that happens. All right, take a look at this. This chart right here tells a story that so many of us are living. On the left, that's your income, your salary. And hey, it's climbing up over the years. That's great news, right? But then you look at the bar on the right, that's your net worth, what you actually own minus your debts. And it's flat. It's barely moving. So you're making more money, but you're not actually getting wealthier. What is going on? So yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? If a bigger paycheck isn't the magic key to financial freedom, then what is? What's this invisible force that's keeping that wealth bar pinned to the ground? Well, the answer is this feeling that a lot of us have, but we just can't quite put a name on it. It's the feeling of being stuck on what you could call the financial treadmill. Just think about it. It's the perfect metaphor. You get that promotion, you get a nice raise, so you start running faster on the treadmill. But the thing is, the treadmill speed, it just increases right along with you. You're putting in way more effort, you're earning more, but you're looking around and realizing you're in the exact same spot. It's this exhausting cycle of just earning and spending that doesn't actually get you anywhere. So, what's powering this treadmill? What's keeping you stuck, running in place? Well, the engine isn't in your bank account. It's in your head. Let's look at the second piece of this puzzle, what we'll call your inner money script. You know, your money mindset is kind of like the secret director of your entire financial life. It's this collection of deep-seated beliefs you have about money, stuff you probably learned as a kid, that's quietly controlling every single decision you make. From buying a coffee in the morning to how you plan for retirement. It's basically the software running your financial hardware. And this chart, wow, it just lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows the two completely different mindsets. On the left, you've got the earner mindset. Here, the whole focus is on just getting a bigger paycheck, right? And the goal? To support a certain lifestyle. Money is seen as something you spend. But look at the right side, the wealth mindset. That's a whole different game. The focus isn't just income, it's increasing your net worth. And the goal is to acquire assets. Money isn't just for spending. It's a tool, something you use to build with. And this, right here, gets to the absolute heart of it. The key thing to realize is that you could have two people making the exact same salary, and in 10 years, they could be in wildly different financial situations. The difference maker wasn't the paycheck. It was the mindset, that inner script that decided what happened to the money after it hit their bank account. Okay, so we know the earner mindset is the problem. But how exactly does it keep us stuck? Let's dive into part 3 and uncover some of the invisible psychological hurdles it puts in our way. The first one, and probably the biggest one for most people, is something called lifestyle inflation. This right here, this is the silent wealth killer. And here's why it's so incredibly sneaky. You get a raise, and what's the first thought? Upgrade. A bigger apartment, a fancier car, better vacations. Before you know it, your spending has risen to perfectly meet your new, higher income. It creates this leaky bucket effect. You can pour more and more money in the top, but it just flows right out the bottom. And that finish line for when you'll finally have enough, it just keeps moving further and further away. Now, it's not just our spending habits. There's another huge hurdle that's actually hardwired into our brains. It's a cognitive bias, and it's called present bias. The thing is, our brains are basically designed to want things now. That dinner out tonight, that new phone you can buy today, that feels real. It feels tangible. You get an immediate hit of pleasure. But the security of a big, healthy retirement fund in 30 years, to our brain that feels abstract, like a problem for a different person. So our brain almost always favors the short-term fun of spending over the long-term, and let's face it, less exciting reward of investing. Okay, so we've laid out the problem, we've identified the mental traps, but here's the good news. None of this is permanent. You can absolutely rewire your brain and your habits. So for part 4, let's get practical and talk about how to actively start building a wealth mindset. Here are 3 steps you can literally start today. First, start prioritizing your future self. I want you to think of your savings and investment contributions as the most important bill you have. Pay that one first, before the rent, before anything else. Second, automate your growth. Seriously, don't rely on willpower. It's a muscle that gets tired. Set up automatic transfers to your investment accounts for the day you get paid. That way, wealth building becomes the default, not a choice you have to make over and over.
And third, reframe how you think about spending. Before you make a big purchase, just pause and ask yourself this one simple question. Is this just an expense, or am I actually buying an asset that will grow in value?
All three of those steps really point to one massive, fundamental shift in how you see the world. So let's bring it all together in our final section and talk about making that crucial leap from a life of just earning to a life of owning. So if you remember anything from this, let it be these three things. First, real wealth is built by your mindset, not just your salary. Think of your paycheck as a tool. Your mindset decides if you build a temporary sandcastle with it or a fortress that lasts. Second, you have to actively look for and fight back against those psychological hurdles, like lifestyle inflation. Be aware of them. And finally, the ultimate goal here is to shift your focus away from simply earning money to owning assets that are working for you, even when you're sleeping. And that really just leaves us with one last question for you to think about. The next time you get paid, what are you actually building? Are you building a temporary lifestyle that constantly needs more money to keep it going? Or are you building a lasting legacy of financial freedom? The choice really is all yours.